Hello, everyone. Welcome to Creativity Hive's weekly program. I am Miriam Haugen. I'm part of the Creativity Hive team. We help budding videographers achieve massive post production skills through one on one teaching, live group coaching, and now boot camps. In fact, we have a 3-day boot camp coming up in August 3rd through 5th. It will take you from the start to finish the entire process of planning, shooting, editing video. The only prerequisite that you have is that you must have a camera, and this counts. So leave a comment below if you want more information on that, and be happy to shoot some information to you. Today on our weekly hangout, we have Jess Brummer, and I am going to bring Jess on here. Da, da, da. There he is. Hi, Jess.
Hi, everybody.
Aquifer motion and producer. And anyway, tell us about yourself, Jess. Um, what you're doing and how you got to where you're at right now.
Well, how I got here is a really long winded story. But I will go ahead and say that what I do now is I am a 3D producer, customer success lead at a company called Aquifer Motion. My job is basically project management. And I am a liaison between a great deal of clients as well as our teams, and kind of the bridge between all different types of people. It's basically my job, as I like to describe it. If you ever heard that phrase, I know a guy who knows a guy. My job is I am the guy who knows a guy. Uh, if I don't have the answer, I know the person who does, um, and I hopefully know how long it will take them to get back to you.
All right. All right. So what is Aquifer motion?
Well, that's an excellent question, but I'm not the one who's best qualified to answer that. Let me go ahead and introduce to you my buddy Rick.
Hi, Creativity-Hive. I'm Rick. Aquifer Motion is a animation platform that helps to rapidly create videos for things like marketing, learning and development, and team onboarding.
So that hopefully answered your question and also gave you a sample of what exactly Aquifer Motion can do. Uh, this is Rick,
Oh, I
or
guess I
that
should
was Rick. Either way,
say is
um, he's one of our more available, we call them template characters, that we can use for a wide variety of different scenarios. Um, and we've created uh, several of these styles of characters that can either be something more realistic or something more cartoony or meeting whatever our clients need. Or if they are really looking for something unique and interesting and different, they can come to us and go, hey, I already have a 2D mascot, but they're not in 3D. They don't move. And then we can take that existing mascot and recreate them for them. And we've done that with companies along the lines of Crunchyroll, which is an online anime studio, and then there's G2, which is an existing esports team, and we've created their mascot and made him move around, and a slew of others. One of the ones that I'm most excited about that we've been working on most recently um, is, and I'm going to see if I can't jump to a different screen real quick. Shameless plug, sorry. Uh, so go ahead and if you could pop that up, Miriam. 2 weeks ago, we helped to release True in the Rainbow Kingdom, which is owned by Guru Animation, onto the Cameo app. So True is the very first 3D, fully 3D character on Cameo. And since that release, we've pushed out a number of different cameos. and every single one of them are 5-star ratings. And I'm just thrilled to be able to be a part of that.
Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna bring Neil and Mo on here because I'll bet they have questions here.
Yeah. Hi, Jess.
Hi, Neil. Hi, Mo.
Hello.
Hey there.
Animation, I have to tell you, because I've been around the Adobe products for several years, and when they were first started bringing out Character Animator and some of the things you could do there, I did a little bit with that. But I have to tell you, I looked at that and realized that this is probably the same thing as like the reason I never got a motorcycle. Because you get on a motorcycle, it doesn't even have to have a lot of power. The tendency is it feels so good when you lean it into a curve and everything that you want to just go.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I'd want to go too much. And character animator and animator, I got looking at that. I played a little bit with it, and like 9 hours went by, and I hadn't said word one to anybody, checked anything on the phone, and I was going, "Oh, this is an opioid for my brain." But this looks so cool. I have to tell you, I love the animation stuff.
Well, here's the trick. Here's the thing that I didn't mention. That animation of Rick just explaining what Aquifer motion is, that took me about 30 minutes this morning.
Oh, okay.
That was all done just this morning. 30 minutes in our app on our phone. And it, say again?
On your phone.
On my phone. On my iPhone, right here, this one. It's the Aquifer Motion app on our iPhone. It's not publicly available yet. We are working to make that available on the iPhone store. We are also working on a desktop version, which we are hoping to have out very, very soon. I'm super excited for that. And yeah, I don't know exactly how much I feel at liberty to be able to reveal right now on the interwebs.
We won't tell anybody. You can tell us all.
Yeah. But I will say that when we have that desktop app out, it's going to get a whole lot easier to use our app. Because right now, what you got to do is you got to hold your phone up. You've got to record. It captures what your face is doing. It shows off in the app with the character you've chosen. The character's face reflects what your own face is. It records what you're saying. In the case of True and the Rainbow Kingdom, we also have a voice changer feature that allows us to get the character sounding the way it should. And that's all really a whole lot faster than your average animation studio already. But coming up soon, within the next month, we hope, all you got to do is say the words.
I see.
And it will streamline the entire animation. It'll do the whole face capture on its own. And again, for those characters that we want to do it for, also change the voice to the way we want it to be. But that's all in the works. But it's all really cool stuff that me as the project manager is just going, yes, give to me. But I'm watching our dev guys in the background as they're bringing these things out in meetings and going, that's really close. That's really cool.
Right.
And I wish I could show some of that off, but I don't have the technology in my own hands yet.
Okay. So just I've seen like upload your own video, your own audio to generate a character animation with a click. So is that looking at or listening to the nuances in the audio to generate expressions? I'm just simplifying it really.
That is the hope. Again, this is all
is
all forthcoming things. I don't have all the details. I'm not the technical guy, so if you start getting into too many technical questions, I'll have to refer you back to Rick, or I'll have to get back to you guys on some of the more technical things.
Right.
I am the more forward-facing person. I am the client whisperer, if you will, the
Right.
guy that helps to make sure those of us, those of our customers who want specific things, they have a point of contact. This guy that can make their dreams actualized a little bit easier using our Aquifer app.
And it's right now it's from what I've seen, it's you know, multi-point face mapping, I guess, well, or just face mapping, right? Does this include something like, as an example, Maxon moves, which can map top to bottom to toe? Is it also on body rigging and movement, or is it simply face animation?
It's currently portrait and up,
Okay.
so it's entirely face and head movement,
Right.
and also your eyes and your eyebrows. So you get really good expressions out of a lot of these characters,
Okay.
depending on how detailed the characters themselves are. But the body animations that I showed off a little bit with Rick, those are all preset animations that you can
Mm-hmm.
mix and match, just
Okay.
like you're doing in After Effects. You're just
Yeah.
adding in different um, time sliders for body animation, facial capture, and camera effects.
Okay.
Um, and we're doing that with just your basic iPhone X or newer. And as I said, the desktop app, which is a lot cleaner and a lot more powerful,
Yeah.
um,
Sure.
as you might imagine. And one of the other things I'm excited for.
And when do you see a foreseeable time when the entire body, or is that even in the pipeline?
That's actually already in the pipeline. I don't know if we're going to get entire body, like
Hmm.
toes to nose, but
Yeah.
we're definitely going to working on the arms being able to gesture and do other things, so that just off of a regular cheapo face cam
Yeah.
that you connect to your computer, being able to move around your arms and having the 3D character do something similar. That is in the pipeline, and we've got some early success so far. I'm hoping to see some final success again soon. I'm going to keep saying that word
All right,
soon.
coming soon.
Right. But a lot of these things are in the next month, the next couple of months.
Right.
So it's all stuff that I've seen in meetings and wish I could show off to the public.
And the overlay avatars on your audio and video. Again, I've seen quite a few very interesting things here. That is currently available.
You're going to have to elaborate by what you mean by the overlay avatars.
So the green screen feature to overlay avatars on images and videos.
Yes. So we have, by default, a lot of the characters won't, will have the option to be able to remove the background that's there and just make it a green screen. And then you can put that in any other videos, just like you're doing any other video editing.
Right.
And just remove that alpha channel and be able to put them in front of the other videos. But we don't have live character replacement
Okay.
as a kind of like VTubers will have.
Yeah.
That's not something that's yet available, but it is something that we've discussed. I don't think it's anything that we're working on for this quarter, but it might be something that, again, we work on in the next couple of months.
Awesome. Well, I find, okay, it fascinating to find out about how you got to be
Sure.
a project manager. And what does a project manager do exactly? I guess you kind of hinted at it. You're the interface. You don't want the engineers talking to the customers, right?
Well, let's just say that engineers are incredibly skilled individuals for what it is they do. And one of their skill sets may or may not include skillful communication to non-engineers.
Yeah.
To other engineers and people inside the company that are used to them, they're great communicators. To people outside the company, by and large, my experience with them is engineers are incredibly smart, but also usually low tolerance for the average client to ask questions.
Right.
That's
Right.
why would you want to do that?
So yeah, you need somebody like a CEO or a project manager or some other business person
Yes.
to help buffer in between say an engineer or a lead artist or someone else who's really good at what they do. And they may also be great communicators.
Yeah.
But it may not be their in their best interest or in the best interest of the company
Of the company.
to be the communicator directly with certain clients. So that's why you have somebody like me who has customer support experience, has experience talking to a wide range of individuals. But I think what Miriam was actually asking after was, as I hinted at earlier on, how I got to this position
Yes.
is such a
It's an interesting path, I think.
long, winding path. Um,
The long
I
and
need water
winding
before I can
road.
start that. But yeah, so I knew when I was about 15 or 16. Oh, geez, that's over 2 decades ago now. Um,
You're young
Oh,
still.
you're so old.
uh, I I am understanding that I am beginning to get old. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
But I knew back then that I really wanted to be in the video game entertainment industry.
Right.
I knew that I enjoyed playing video games and that they were one of the ways to convey a story to a wide range of an audience. Um, and I knew I wanted to be part of that. So while I didn't yet know at that time how I wanted to do that, I was thinking either as a writer or as maybe a programmer or something to do with art. I didn't know. When I finally did graduate and started to figure out exactly what it was that I did want, uh, by that time, from graduating high school, I knew that, oh, wait a minute, programmers and engineers, smart people with really great logic and math.
Okay.
And I've got the logic part down. It's the mathematics that I was looking at and going, maybe this isn't what I wanted to do for a living. So that got me looking at what it was that I did want to do. And I ended up getting into Purdue University for computer graphics with a focus on animation. And through those 4 years, found a few second loves along the lines of video editing and some other things of that nature that have been a whole lot of fun. Uh, and Purdue set me up with a fantastic foundation for dealing with artists, with programmers, with sound designers, what have you. Um, but as a college kid, I finished college and I'm like, all right, I'm done, world. Where's my
Yeah.
job?
Right.
And it doesn't work like that. For anybody watching, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You've got to go through the college thing and at the very least junior year start thinking about what you're doing after college and how do you make that next step. And I didn't do that. I didn't. I copped to it. I expected a handout. and it didn't happen. So I ended up working retail for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Again, in the games industry, though, because I was at a GameStop, and that was video games, right?
Right, it was related.
Uh, but after that, I did luck into a fantastic customer support job at a small company called Blizzard Entertainment. They make
Small
Yeah,
company,
yeah,
yes.
really small.
they
Tiny, Blizzard.
yeah, yeah, they've made just a small game called World of Warcraft. You might have heard of it.
Yeah,
Um,
even I, and I'm not a huge computer gamer. Even I, of course, know of Blizzard because we've had two sons, and yeah,
Yeah.
right.
so I was a game master for about 5 years for games like World of Warcraft and Diablo and Heroes of the Storm and something of the nature. And I enjoyed myself. Great company to work at between the years of 2008 and 2013. We won't get into what's going on with them now. That's a whole separate discussion. But fantastic place to work at for me at that time. I did not want customer support to be my career path. There was no way for me to go from being a game master into being a game developer, uh, especially even though I did have that computer graphics degree. For those 5 years, I think I opened Maya once,
Okay.
and that's not a great way to get yourself hired as a computer animator.
Yeah,
um,
sure.
you've got to be active, you've got to go home and have fun making the thing that you want to make for a living. Same for digital editors. You've got to enjoy what it is you're doing and sometimes open it up just for the heck of it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing that. So at the end of my 5 years, when I figured out, hey, this isn't going anywhere, and I chose to leave Blizzard, I wanted to figure out, well, what is it that I wanted to do? And I
Right.
took those 5 years of customer support and I treated them as 5 years of communications training. Um, and I felt that by that point, I enjoyed being able to help people to reach the solutions that they were after, um, and help people to make the connections uh, with who could help them if I wasn't the person that could do that. So I was looking at the rest of the video game industry and figuring out, well, what kind of job does that? And the answer is project management. Um,
Right.
so
Right.
I went for my master's degree in Full Sail University, uh, which is a 1 year master's degree.
Mhm.
They blitz you through everything real quick, but they also prepare you, in my opinion, a whole lot better than your standard 4 year, 2 year college, um, uh, because every single class is a 1 month sprint
Right.
to finish off a set course. So, in terms of business, it's a 1 month sprint to finish off a part of a project or a whole project within just 30 days. Um, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. What I went there for was game master. I mean, not game master, was a master's degree in game design with a focus on project management. Um, And this time I had learned my lesson. It only took me 4 years of college and a whole lot of my parents' money to be able to figure out that, hey, just maybe while I'm at college, since I'm not working, maybe I should be working towards when I am working.
Mm.
Um, and I made some connections. I made a few friends and uh, talked with a few different individuals, and sure enough, finished up my master's degree, valedictorian. Thank you very much. Sure, it was
Wow.
only a
Cool.
class of 3 people, but we don't talk about that. Um, I was still number one.
Uh,
Um, but uh, finished all that up and immediately jumped into helping out as a project manager for a startup kind of company called Burnout Game Ventures, which is still active and owned by a really good friend of mine, entrepreneur and one of my former professors at Full Sail, Rupert Magnot. And the goal there was to help other startups figure out the business needs. And I got to be liaison between new teams, and I got to be a hiring manager, and I got to do a whole lot of fun things to create a few different projects, and basically was starting to dip my feet in the gigantic ocean that is project management. While interfacing with engineers, interfacing with artists, interfacing with sound designers on a much more technical level. And yeah, that lasted for a couple years doing that part-time. Ended up working at a couple other companies in my off hours when I wasn't doing project management. Another small one, EA Games. I was there for usability testing, UAT, and ended up basically doing a whole lot of QA and UAT work. And it's just a weird winding path, but I was touching all the things that I wanted to touch, and it was getting me closer and closer to being a project manager that had a wider grasp on what everybody else in the industry does, which is so very, very useful when you're actively working with a large amount of different teams that you're the bridge for, because bigger companies end up siloing their departments between, the programming department, the art department, the marketing department. Those are all, 20, 30, 40 individuals each, depending on the size of the company. Maybe even more if it's small ones like Blizzard and EA. And being able to work in each of these and understand the core concepts of what those people do helped me immensely as I was moving forward. But it wasn't getting me the job I wanted. I went about a year and a half unemployed after the EA contract, and after another stint as a driver for a company that's no longer around, so we won't talk about them. But
not a small company like Ferrari or
no, Ford.
Okay.
But it was for a company called Chariot. Ford owned it, and they Ford decided in 2018, never mind, and they dissolved the company. So I was unemployed for about a year and a half. I still doing some small part-time things here and there. I did part-time project management for part-time's the wrong word. I'm sorry, I'm having a blonde moment. Pro bono is also the wrong word, but basically helping out companies for free, just so that I could keep my hand in doing project management stuff. And that got me a job as a project manager for a cryptocurrency company called Tremel Ventures. Hi, Dustin. And absolutely fantastic company for several years, and worked for them part-time, help them manage some of their projects, one of which was creating a cryptocurrency-based scavenger hunt at the most recent Bitcoin 2022 convention. And everybody that went to the convention had a lot of fun. We heard a lot of great things from all the people that played the game. I enjoyed it just on the back end as it was slowly being developed and slowly being launched. I know my developer didn't, because he was tearing his hair out the week or two before it was released. We definitely learned some things about time management in that project, let me tell you what. But all of this is to say that it was a weird, winding path that eventually, in late October of last year, I had a third-party recruiter reach out to me on LinkedIn and go, "Hey, Jess, here's this job over here at Aquifer that I think you might fit and have interest in." And I'm like looking at it and going, "Aquifer Motion, that's not video game related. Am I really all that interested?" But you know what? I took a look. It's not at this point, after being semi-unemployed for as long as I was. I'd learned it's not on me to say when I'm not qualified for the job, or when the job might not be a good fit for me. That's on the company that's hiring me.
Yeah.
So I looked at the job, was reading it through a little bit further, and I was going into it only kind of sort of interested, but reading it and going, wait a minute, they're looking for somebody really weird for this 3D producer customer success lead position, because they're looking for somebody who has animation experience, who has an understanding of customer service experience, who knows project management principles, and also understands QA. That's a weird job description. But at the same time, that's me.
That's me. Yeah.
I was ticking off every single one of the boxes. And as anybody who's been looking at jobs in the past couple of years might be able to tell you, it's rare for you to go online for a job description and see yourself perfectly described. There's always one or two things that you're like, I can fudge answering that.
Right.
Or that's maybe not exactly me, but I can learn. But no, this particular one was hitting every single mark for me. So I'm like, all right, not video games, but you know what? Let's do it. And I submitted my resume. I had a conversation with my now boss, Chen. Hi, Chen. And within 5 minutes after that first interview, she'd already contacted my recruiter pal and said, I want to follow up. So it all just worked from there. It was a weird winding path, but I've been enjoying myself ever since I got hired. It, just like the job description, is checking all of my boxes. I get to be creative. I get to work with interesting people. I get to talk with some fun individuals on a near daily basis. In the past couple of months, I've been working on this True and the Rainbow Kingdom thing, which was a real challenge for me. Some days I was pretty happy with the results, and other days I was like, oh, why? But it was in a good way of I was actually being challenged to do something. We had to start a whole new voice actor department within Aquifer Motion that I'm now kind of overseeing and managing. I was, for a lot of the promotional videos that you might see if you go onto the Cameo website, doing all the digital editing myself to make sure that things went from a horizontal 16:9 to a 9:16 orientation, as well as lining up the audio so it was much cleaner. And basically, I was able to stretch my wings since I joined Aquifer. Plus, it's this great and cool technology that, just like I said, allowed me to make a 16-second animation fully voiced and fully animated within about 30 minutes just this morning. And that's the hard way of doing it. for Aquifer, since, as I keep saying, a couple months from now, it'll even get easier.
Wow. I'm wondering, okay, would it be smart to go ahead and show that video again now that we know what Aquifer is more?
Sure, I can show that.
That might be cool. Here we are.
Hi, Creativity-Hive. I'm Rick. Aquifer Motion is an animation platform that helps to rapidly create videos for things like marketing, learning and development, and team onboarding.
Awesome. All right. That is so cool. And yeah, I find your story fascinating because we don't, we don't all just follow nice little neat paths in life, do we? You have to kind of cast about, and we're learning all the time and making something of it. Okay, so
I can relate to your thing of realizing that they want someone with your rather unique set of skills. We've of course had our own business for many years, and I got into this whole video post thing in an as odd, at least as odd a way, probably more so than your path. And at one point, I got an email from someone actually wanting to know if I was interested in a position for a major company, in a position that I wouldn't have really thought that I was qualified for. But it was one of those things that, in looking around the whole thing, well, there were a couple paper-like qualifications that I might not have had, but all the experience, the training, the knowledge, how to do the job and everything, I did, and I it was also offered to another person that I knew, and at first I didn't think it was really a job offer. So, would you be interested in something like this? And then, but talking with the person that had sent the email later on, he was going, no, that was a very serious. He wanted one of the two of us, and it was a little frustrating because it was one of those things where I was going, dang, but I would have loved the job, but it would have required moving, and
yeah,
we were at a point where we just no, we're not going to do that move, and that was very frustrating. And but but looking at it and going, it was really fascinating to see that I actually would have qualified and been able to handle this position. It was something that I wouldn't have even thought of. And it's kind of like your thing involving knowledge of the engineering, some project management knowledge, and knowledge on how to work with engineers when you're not an engineer, which is a skill set of its own.
yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, right. Okay, so it's time for our final parting shot here, Jess. So something, okay.
Well, first, Mo looked like Mo had something.
Yeah.
Oh, Mo always has a
Yeah,
question.
as always. Sorry, Jeff. I was listening to you and then looking at a few things on your side.
Sure.
So, Miriam, do you guys know what Cameo is?
I have not looked at Cameo.
Well, Cameo is all these Hollywood stars that do a personalized
Oh,
video
right. Yes. Yes,
greeting for
I've
you,
heard about
right?
Cameo.
So,
Right.
yeah, that kind of thing. So, how does the True and the Rainbow fit in with Cameo anyway? Jess, sorry.
So what it does is you get parents or other individuals that are potentially making a request of True
Yeah,
to say happy birthday to themselves or their young
right.
children.
Yeah,
And we help to facilitate that so that the character comes live and talks directly to the recipient, the kid, um, in such a way that it still feels like True.
Okay.
Guru, the animation studio that owns the IP for True and the Rainbow Kingdom, oversees the quality control and makes sure that what is being said fits with their desired outcome for True. And Aquifer helps to supply the animation as well as the voice talent and makes all the videos available for them to go back to Guru. They watch it, they approve them, and they send them out via the Cameo app. It's a little bit more involved than say your Tom Hanks or other big name celebrity on the Cameo app getting a request and spending an hour or two sending out 5-10 of these. For us, it's a couple days of work right now, but we are working towards streamlining that. But it's made a lot of kids really, really happy. I love just going onto the Cameo page for True, not to see any of our videos again. I've watched them enough. I have watched them so many times. But the new things that I get to see are the 5-star reviews come with comments. And some of those comments they just make my day. Even the roughest day at work when I'm slogging through the hardest bits of the day, if I can open that page and read a brand new comment, all my worries go away because I made some kid somewhere smile.
And I noticed you guys are also looking into the the augmented reality stuff. And that's coming soon, right? So that for you guys, that won't be that difficult because you're based around animation engines, and a lot. I know this is probably an IP kind of question, but are you using a custom built engine, or are you platforming off? I won't say Unreal or anything like that, but are you platforming off some sort of engine? Has it been
We
built for you?
utilize Unity.
Are you on Unity? Wow.
We're
Okay. Then you got
we're on
unlimited potential.
yes.
Yeah.
So we utilize Unity, and it has helped us a lot. It has also hindered us a couple times here and
I'm
there.
sure. Yeah.
But it's part of how we build. Our pipeline is also as strange as my own career path. But for now, it's we make the animations and stuff within Maya and Blender,
Right.
and then we can transport that into Unity and
Yeah.
tweak those around and make things work so the rigging and animations work properly. And then we get to play around with blend shapes to make the face move the way we want it to.
Right.
And from there, we can export to
Of course.
our actual app.
And any inkling, just a hint, maybe when the desktop. Well, is there a Mac version? Yeah. Well, you're on iPhone, right? So there will be hopefully a Mac version in the foreseeable future.
The desktop version
The
will be for
OS.
both Mac and PC. And
Good.
my boss keeps saying sometime next month. I choose to believe her because she
Yeah.
pays my rent.
Right. Right.
We'll see how well we meet that deadline. And as a project manager, it is part of my job to help make that happen.
So when can we play with it, Jess? That's a big question.
That's a fantastic question. I
Yeah.
don't have, as I said, the app itself is not yet available for the public. It is primarily corporations and other people who can afford the utilization of our app and customization. But for anybody that is interested in doing that, just going on the website and asking to get a free demo will get you connected with one of our sales reps, and they'll be happy to show things off. and sometimes we can make a free trial available for a couple weeks, but depends on what it is the individual wants to do. Publicly available, not sure we have a date yet on that. I know that eventually one of my dreams is, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a huge nerd, and I love D&D. So I would love it if eventually we got to the point where I could design my own fantasy D&D character using, D&D rules, but then also create a 3D model of that character in the Aquifer app. And then when my friends and I are online and playing D&D, my character replaces my face, and has all the same motions of my hands and my mouth. And I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know if that's going to happen. I know I keep pitching it, but might be a few years from now, might be 6 months from now.
Don't know. Yeah.
Don't rightly know. I know what's a couple months from now, and that's what I try and focus my site on, because project managers who try and go too far into the future know that they need to make adjustments in their schedule very frequently.
The last question I have really is, when it becomes publicly available, right? Is it going to be able to play in other software? So is there going to be the ability, as an example, if we look at Adobe Character Animator, it's now evolving and it's going toe to nose at some point. Mixamo is out there, so app based from the top to the bottom. Will it be able to be exported in maybe a particular format, FBX, OBJ, 3D Max, with the alpha transparent, with the alpha channel, and then brought in to be if you do your compositing, maybe AE. So what I'm saying is, maybe a guy wants to do a kind of explainer video, and this is where I'm seeing the future here for this. For me, would be do an explainer video, which is kind of horribly annoying to do in After Effects.
Yeah, no, that's learning and development.
Yeah. So you do it here, and you get your full. Now Mixamo's out there if you haven't seen Mixamo, which is a whole lot of character assets. Probably most of them are game based, but just actions which you can export out, bring it in After Effects, drop the characters in. They're already pre-lit in, but you can they do react to 3D lights. Sorry, to lighting inside After Effects anyway. So you do this to the explainer. They're all pretty much flat at the moment, right? As you know, just very, very flat. And this is more kind of it's more three-dimensional. So is there any hope, really? And I'm using the word hope very strongly, because if that is even a possibility, or for the future, then it would make 2D explainer videos, or 2.5D now, or 3D almost, 2.5D I guess, it would make it so much simpler to be able to do that in your app, but bring it in for completing and polishing in other apps.
Sure. So, so like I was talking about, the thing that I'm most excited for, being able to just say the line and that it fully animates. I think that that's definitely one way of achieving your goal, and that's, again, hopefully a month from now for us. Not necessarily publicly available, but again, potentially in the future. And being able to do that quickly and easily with the character you want after you say the line, and it generates something. Right now it kicks you into our editor in the app on the desktop, that you can change a few hand motions or update something in the face if you don't like it. Then you render it, and that render goes to our render queue. And our render queue also includes a very simple version of a video editor. It's no After Effects, but it does you can very easily select the green background, remove the alpha channel, and re-render it without any of the green background, so that you can take the new transparency and then put it into whatever you want. Put it on top of a TikTok video, put it on top of a Facebook thing with words in the background, whatever you want to do, or take it into actually After Effects or Premiere and really go to town with it to make it even easier to use and have fun with.
Okay.
Fantastic. Lovely. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's time to wrap things up. Time for final parting shot. So, okay, what's your favorite place to vacation if you were going to go on a dream vacation?
A dream vacation. I would love to go back to the Great Barrier Reef with someone I've recently married. But right now, the recently married part's the dream. The Great Barrier Reef is the thing that I saw, 15 years ago now. Absolutely gorgeous out there when I went, and it's dying out, and I'm sad about that. Folks, take care of our seas and our forests. We need them to live. More realistic vacation, I go on cruise ships all the time. If you're going to go to a hotel somewhere, it might as well float around and take you to interesting locations.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you for coming, Jess.
Absolutely. It was a joy. Anytime.
Oh, lovely, Jeff. Nice meeting you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. Take care, guys. Ciao.